If you win the $1.5 billion jackpot, you may not be as lucky as you may think. Many winners befall the so-called curse of the lottery, with some squandering their fortunes and others meeting tragic ends. Welcome to the Fact Check channel. If you haven't subscribed, please do. About 70% of people who suddenly receive a windfall of cash will lose it within a few years, according to the National Endowment for Financial Education. But before thinking that winning the lottery would solve all your problems, think again. There have been numerous stories of how people's lives actually changed for the worse by winning millions. For some people, as hard as it is to believe, their problems only began with the fame and fortune that came from winning the lottery. Here are 5 reasons why. 1. Everyone will ask you for money. And by everyone, we mean everyone. And the requests won't stop, ever. They could come in the form of phone calls, emails, or knocks on your front door. The short list will include the following. Family members you haven't heard from in years, but all of a sudden are calling you their favorite brother, sister, uncle, aunt, or cousin. Friends or acquaintances, possibly some of whom you stopped hanging out with a long time ago, who can't wait to see their old buddy again. Coincidentally, they at the same time will likely talk about how there's a debt or a bill they can't pay off anytime soon. Investors who know full well you have some money, and pitch you on a can't-miss investment opportunity. All it takes is for you to give them a huge amount of cash and the process to more millions gets rolling. Charitable organizations of all sorts. It's noble for anyone who wins the lottery to want to give back, and it's usually a part of the lottery fantasies for many. But all the world's problems can't simply be solved by lottery winnings, and you will have to say no at some point to avoid going broke. 2. Becoming a target. After winning his jackpot, Shakespeare met a woman named D.D. Moore, who reportedly wanted to write a book about his experiences and manage his money. In 2009, Shakespeare was killed, and his body was found under a concrete slab at the home of an acquaintance of Moore, who was arrested in connection with Shakespeare's death. In 2012, Moore was sentenced to first-degree murder and life in prison. 3. Strained relationships. Having to turn down requests for help and risk broken relationships with families or friends is common for lottery winners. After winning the lottery, Hayes told the St. Louis Dispatch in 2012 a story about how a friend she had known for years asked for financial help to help pay 3 years' worth of back taxes. The friend said she was about to lose the house, but after searching a government website for tax records on her friend's property, Hayes found out the taxes were paid in full. After Hayes printed that page out and mailed it to her friend, they didn't speak again, according to the article. If you are single and win the lottery, there's a possibility that finding a life partner who will actually love you for more than just your money will become harder. 4. Guilt and boredom. An article on grunge.com titled, "Why It Sucks to Win the Lottery," talks about a condition called sudden wealth syndrome, where people feel guilty that they were the ones who won the lottery in the face of astronomical odds. Eventually, boredom can be a problem, as well. People often are wired to work and achieve personal or financial goals. When winning the lottery eliminates the need to work, the desire to indulge in pleasures often fills the void left by pursuing achievements. When the luxury items are purchased and the vacations are taken, the excitement wears off and it's easy to have a feeling of, now what? 5. The lottery does change people, but sometimes for the worse. According to the National Endowment for Financial Education, 70% of lottery winners go bankrupt within a few years. Obtaining more money often leads to careless spending and the desire to get more money, and the greed can be destructive to the lives of winners and their families. Budgeting and financial planning are often major sources of conflict for married couples or families, and the presence of more money to spend can actually further heighten that issue. In an article on Time.com, Don McNay, a financial consultant to lottery winners and the author of Life Lessons from the Lottery, said many winners end up unhappy or broke. People commit suicide, McNay said in the article. People run through their money. Easy comes, easy goes. They go through divorce, or people die. No doubt, many winners have been responsible and had their lives changed for the good. With a $1.5 billion at stake Wednesday, here are some of the stories of past winners that gamblers should know about. 1. Kenneth and Connie Parker. Happily married for 16 years, Kenneth and Connie Parker quickly watched their marriage disintegrate months after they won the $25 million jackpot. According to ABC News, Kenneth's wife turned cold, kicked him out of the condo they had bought, and told him she was keeping all the money. It was an abrupt ending to what seemed to be a strong marriage. 2. Jack Whittaker. I wish that we had torn the ticket up. Jack Whittaker was already a millionaire when he won a $315 million in a lottery in West Virginia in 2002. The then 55-year-old West Virginia construction company president claimed he went broke about 4 years later and lost a daughter and a granddaughter to drug overdoses, which he blamed on the curse of the Powerball win, according to ABC News. My granddaughter is dead because of the money, he told ABC. You know, my wife had said she wished that she had torn the ticket up. Well, I wish that we had torn the ticket up, too. Whittaker was also robbed of $545,000 sitting in his car while he was at a strip club 8 months after winning the lottery. I just don't like Jack Whittaker. I don't like the hard heart I've got, he said. I don't like what I've become. 3. Billy Bob Harrell Jr. After winning $31 million in the Texas lottery, Billy Bob thought he had it all. Struggling to support his wife and teenage children on his Home Depot salary, the winnings seemed a blessing to Harrell. In 1997, he and his wife celebrated in their living room after finding out they had won the jackpot. 2 years later, unable to take the pressure of constantly lending money to friends and lamenting the strained relationships in his family, Harrell shot and killed himself in a bedroom at his Kingwood, Texas, home. 4. Abraham Shakespeare. I'd have been better off broke. Abraham Shakespeare was murdered in 2009 after he won a $30 million lotto jackpot. The 47-year-old Florida man was shot twice in the chest and then buried under a slab of concrete in a backyard, ABC News reported. Dee Moore, who authorities say befriended him after his lotto win, was found guilty of first-degree murder in 2012. His brother, Robert Brown, told the BBC that Shakespeare always said he regretted winning the lottery. I'd have been better off broke. He said that to me all the time, Brown said. 5. Sandra Hayes. These are people who you've loved deep down, and they're turning into vampires trying to suck the life out of me. Sandra Hayes won the Missouri lottery in 2006 and split a $224 million Powerball with a dozen co-workers. The Street Lewis woman is now a retired social worker and wrote the book, How Winning the Lottery Changed My Life. She told the Associated Press she had to adapt to this new life, which changed how she saw her closest family and friends. I had to endure the greed and the need that people have, trying to get you to release your money to them, she said in 2012. That caused a lot of emotional pain. These are people who you've loved deep down, and they're turning into vampires trying to suck the life out of me. 6. Donna Micken. My life was hijacked by the lottery. Donna Micken won $34.5 million in the New York State Lottery in 2007. She said the big win ruined her life and led to emotional bankruptcy. Most of us think that winning the lottery is the ultimate fulfillment. But I found that wasn't the case, she wrote a blog post in 2014. Most people look at winning the lottery as some magic pot of gold waiting for you at the end of the rainbow. The Long Island woman said she considered herself a happy person before the win. When we won the lottery, my inner dialogue was manic. I became more concerned about how I was being judged and perceived, not realizing I was the one doing the judging in the first place, she wrote. If you asked me, my life was hijacked by the lottery. 7. Richard Lustig. I've been rich and I've been poor, and I like rich a whole lot better. Richard Lustig is one of the rare exceptions. The 65-year-old Florida man is a 7-time lottery game grand prize winner who is still basking in riches after hitting it big about 2 decades ago. Obviously it's changed my life big time, he told Time on Tuesday. I've been rich and I've been poor, and I like rich a whole lot better. We've lived in big, fancy houses. I drive a Jaguar. We've gone on cruises. I can't complain. The former professional drummer, who banked his largest payout of $842,000 playing Mega Money, has kept most of his earnings and wrote the book, Learn How to Increase Your Chances of Winning the Lottery, in 2010 after his latest lotto win of $90,000. The book has been flying off shelves in the last 2 weeks. It's been insanity. We've sold thousands of dollars because of all the publicity, he said. We wait for these kinds of moments, when jackpots get really high. When it happens, boom. Would you play a lottery? Thank you for watching.